What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Adrien the Problem Broner. Now, I commend Adrien because he looks like he's, really in shape. He changed trainers. He's been training down there in Florida with some old school cats. And then from the videos and from what I'm watching, he looks really well. He looks focused until about maybe a week and a half ago, and this is what this discussion is about. Adrien Broner let, a rapper get under his skin. The rapper called him a clown, and I can't remember the rapper's name right now, but he's pretty well known. He's a New York rapper, and he called him a clown, and AB didn't like that so much, and then he rebutted and told him he would roll up on him, catch you in New York. I'm not one of those guys that you want to mess with, yada, yada, yada. Like some real street shit, And the guy rebutted back, of course, and, told him, hey, I got 100,000 that you fucking lose, you garbage, you a clown. Conflict is only going to create more conflict. You know what I mean? So, and that was one thing. Today during the press conference, he called Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Productions, a bitch ass nigga. And it's like, I wonder. It's like the more the more he gets exposure, the more he just explodes. With negativity. I don't know what's going on with Adrien Broner. It seems like to me, he's trying to be the Tupac of the boxing game, with the stuff he's got into, going to jail, getting shot at, getting robbed, beating up people outside of, crap games, stuff like that, man, And it's not the first rapper that had that type of life, just some off the top of my head, Sweet Pete Whitaker, Julian K.O. Letterlow. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was shot dead. Arturo Gatti had a wild life. Of course, Floyd, the lifestyle of a boxer, people need to understand, boxing saved a lot of these guys. Boxing is the thing that gave them an outlet because they did have a lot of anger and they did, have a lot of things going on in their life. And, with boxing, they were able to express that, to get that out, and to accomplish something if you were good, But it's all about focus. Adrien Broner, I believe, is 26, 27 years old. And I have to give him credit. He has fought the best guys out there. But one thing I wouldn't have done was call Leonard Ellerbe a bitch ass nigga. I mean, he's like one of those dudes like you would have to work with at the end of the day, and then luckily it didn't, cancel the card of something, if some physical altercation, because he was right beside him. And I'm just thinking, like, what the hell is AB? What's going on with him? What's going through his head at that point? And the way he's talking like Tupac, he's like, hey, all these guys are against me. Leonard Ellerbe, he's against me. He's a bitch ass nigga. All these bitch ass, I'm like, wow, dude, what's the deal with that? And I think he feels that, since him and Floyd are not tight anymore, or they have this back and forth love-hate relationship, I think that that he feels betrayed because, Floyd brought him in to the business and took him under his wing, but I've been telling everyone about Floyd. Floyd is only human at the end of the day. He might have been an excellent boxer, one of the best peers boxers we had seen for the last 40 years, but he is a human at the end of the day. He has flaws. He has ego problems and stuff like that. So no one in Floyd's eyes can get higher or feel higher than him or get higher than him or excel past him. That's why Floyd's always in the limelight. That's why, think guys like AB that want to emulate him, and that was his problem. He should have just been AB instead of a miniature Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd seeing that this guy was already at the age of 24 a four-time world champion, I think that's when it started. I think when Floyd figured, well, this guy could actually be um, more successful than me. I think that's when a lot of problems started. A lot of, foul things, remarks Floyd said, towards Adrien Broner, because when he did accomplish to be a four-time world champion, Floyd's remarks about that wasn't really encouraging, and that would piss anybody off if you look at someone like a brother. So I understand that if you're looking at it through Adrien Broner's eyes, this guy took me under my wing. Now he's like, oh, well, he really hasn't accomplished anything. I don't think he was ready for that. Saying stuff like that where, I think Floyd was a little bitter because it took Floyd a while. Pretty boy Floyd, right? He was a guy that had to do certain steps in order to get where he needed to get. He had to fight the Sean Bay Mitchells and the Chop Chop Corleys and, all these guys. He fought these guys, and he fought almost everyone. He didn't fight everyone when he was Pretty Boy, but just about. And most importantly, he didn't fight the best, but he called out the best. And didn't get those fights. He didn't get the Sugar Shane Mosley fight. Sugar Shane was chasing Oscar for good reason. That was the cash cow. Everybody wanted Oscar. He had to crawl before he could walk. So when he seen Adrien Broner do these things fast, miraculously, he was like, okay, well, let me stop helping this kid as much as I am. Let me kind of throw some salt, I think. I feel that's what happened with that. And by the way, Floyd, in an interview recently, is rooting for Jessie Vargas to win. You know what I mean? So that's another indication like, okay, this is supposed to be your little brother. Why aren't you supporting him? Those are questions you need to ask. And for that reason, if those are the reasons that, I could think of, maybe that's why Adrien Broner's acting the way he is, if you had to have a justifiable reason for him acting like that. So, but it looks like it's going to be one hell of a fight. Honestly, I think back to Floyd just briefly. I think when Adrien Broner got beat by Maidana, I think Floyd was relieved. Like, I'm going to fight him. I'm going to avenge him for you so I can get back into the spotlight. Does that make sense? Because that's what it seems like to me. And he had hell with Maidana, and he ended up fighting him twice because the first fight was so entertaining and so competitive. So people argue, Maidana won 4 or 5 of those rounds. I give it a 7-5, but because there was no knockdowns. But Floyd he was messing with the right guy. Awkward. He wasn't slow, but he was unorthodox. Those are the perfect guys that can upset pure boxers, pressure fighters, right? Just Floyd was so skilled, you know what I mean? But still, I think he was relieved when Maidana beat Broner, so he wouldn't have to worry about anyone in competition with him, especially someone that he's helping, So, but back to the present, Adrien Broner, he has a lot on the line because, he's upset a lot of people. He's roughed up some feathers of people, you know what I mean? And he has to deliver. But him fighting Jessie Vargas, and I believe Jessie Vargas only has 2 losses. Adrien Broner has I think 3. He was beat by Sean Porter. He was beat by Maidana. He was beat by Mikey Garcia. Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, Maidana. I think that's only 3. So he needs to deliver because if he gets another loss, he's going to fall out. But if he can beat another guy when he steps up at 147, if he can beat Jessie Vargas, and Jessie Vargas is a top guy, because remember, Jessie Vargas was the guy that upset Ali, okay, and made Ali run to 154, which he upset Cotto. So that was a nice tribulation and way that Ali did things and how everything worked out. But no, Jessie Vargas, he's an underrated puncher. But he's not a pressure fighter though. So I think AB can be victorious if he can catch Jessie Vargas with some good shots. You know, so but I thought the press conference was entertaining at least. You know, we'll see on fight night what happens. You know, but it looked genuine. It looked like legit. It looked like, you know, Adrien Broner was actually pissed off and he was mad. You know, so you know, for the reasons that I've mentioned, I can understand that. But him and Jessie Vargas is going to be a very good fight. Jessie Vargas has the height and the reach. Adrien Broner, I think, has the speed. You know, and they're both tough. So this is going to be, I think, you know, I don't see a knockout. I see a good fight. I see a good drug out fight, you know, kind of similar to Granados and Broner, you know, when he fought Granados, you know, and I think he beat Granados. He just hit him with the harder shots. I think Granados hit him more, you know, outlanded him, kind of out hustled him, but you can debate, but I would give it to Broner. But Jessie Vargas, I believe, hits harder than Granados, you know. He has a really good punch because remember he upset Tim. He hit Tim Bradley and thought he knocked him out. That was one of the mistakes he made, is not being, you know, like experienced during that level. You know, so it's a 50-50 fight. It's just really up to Adrien Broner has the skills, but you know it seems like he's in good shape. But we have to see. Let's see what his training has got him, you know, has delivered him, you know, and what performance will he deliver that night. Jessie Vargas always comes to fight. He took the fight, no problem. You know what I mean? That's what fighters do. Okay. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this. If Adrien Broner's focused like he is, and I think he should win, but you know, when you're getting conflicts and stuff like that, that shifts your focus. So that could be a problem. You know, so you've said it here. Again, you guys tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.